Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Midday Market Update.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always glad to be here. Always glad to have you here. If you guys can hear me, let me know in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. The first trading day of the week going into the Christmas week. How many of you are ready for Christmas? I'm ready for Christmas. Joey, you ready for Christmas yet?
No.
No? How are you not ready for Christmas yet? Gosh, I'm ready for Christmas. Well,
We got like 4 days left to do stuff.
Oh, well. Ray just said that I've got Jockey Club on Thursday. I don't think I can do Jockey Club on Thursday. What's Thursday? Is Thursday the 23rd? If it is, I can't be here. I'm off. So I may not have it. Oh, we'll see. I can see the people here are in chat, and they're letting me know that they can hear me loud and clear. Hey, Badger, good to see that you're here in the background as one of the admins. Hi, Badger's wife. Badger's wife is here today. Hi, Badger's wife. Look at that. Good to have you here. Hopefully you've heard me before. If not, it's going to be a rude awakening. Woo-wee. All right, so I can see that everybody's chiming in. Joey, can you show me how many people's is here? I can't see that unless you're not showing me that. Just so I can't see it. Are you listening? Sigh. All right, he may or may not be listening. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So first off, if you're new to the channel, thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you'll be alerted to when these videos come out. These live streams come out, you'll get alerted. So you want to make sure you hit the bell icon. Folks, if you like the content, don't forget to hit the like button. But the big thing right now, I'm looking at the number of people here. You know me, I'm trying to grow the channel as best we can, right? Let's try to get 300 people in here, at least 300 people. In order to do that, you've got to share this live link on your social circles. I see a lot of you have followers. And the way to get to 300 people up in here is to put this out to your followers so that they can show up, because a lot of good things could be happening, a lot of bad things could be happening, but you want to have a decent understanding of what's going on in the market so that you guys can make better decisions on what's going on in the market. Look at that. Charles says he's up 80% on Tesla puts. Man, what have I been saying? What have I been saying in regards to Tesla? I've been saying that is it going to get to a point in time where there's going to be a mass exodus on Tesla, especially what's going on with Elon Musk selling a lot of shares to finance the Twitter. And he put on Twitter today, how many of you think I should step down as CEO? And a lot of people said that they do want him to step down. So I'm curious to know, how many of you think that Musk will step down as CEO of Twitter? I type a 1 in the room. How many of you think he will step down as CEO of Twitter? Type a 1. If you don't think he's going to do that, type a 2. That's right, Albert. 57% of the people polled think that he should step down. A lot of you think he is going to step down. Now, keep in mind, if he does step down, that doesn't mean that he won't have a say in Twitter. He's probably just going to put somebody, if he does do it, he's put somebody else to do the day-to-day operations. All right, but he's still going to have a main voice in there. It's very interesting. A lot of people saying two. So I'm just curious, is this just a ploy to keep him in the news? All right. He said he would go by the results of the survey. That's what he says, Eric. That's what he says. But do you think he's really going to do it? Do you think the whole idea of him buying Twitter was to make it profitable? And if he's not the guy, then you got to put somebody in place. But does that stop him from selling his Tesla shares to still finance what's going on with Twitter? All right, so keeping all that in mind, we're going to do some looking at market timing. I tend to do that on Mondays. So for those of you who are not subscribers, I'm going to give you some insight into what the VectorVest system is saying right now for our subscribers and give you some insight on our market timing as well. As you can see, 3 solid days of red. The market is just falling. A lot of it stems from what? The Fed. The Fed being hawkish going into next year. He said it, all right? And the markets are not liking that, even though he only raised 50 basis points where everybody was thinking that, oh, that's going to be great. But look at the reality setting in. And the big reality is Still a hawkish Fed, and earnings, which is the engine that drives a market higher. A lot of people are still guiding lower for earnings, and even I'm going to talk about that in our market climate graph, again, for you guys who are not subscribers to the software, to give you the 30,000-foot view of what's going on in the market. Without being a VectorVest subscriber, you may not have access to that. So we're going to talk about that. So let's go right into the software. And let's talk about what's going on in the market. Here's the market. We use something called the VVC, or the VectorVest Composite, which tracks the movement of over 9,000 stocks. We use that for the purposes of timing the market. For those of you who don't believe you can time the market, folks, we've been doing it over 30 years. When we say we time the market, we don't predict which way the market is going to go. We are trend followers, and we follow the trend. Coming off this high that happened in early December, look at that. We're trending down lower. And all of this bounce here was in anticipation of the Fed saying, I'm going to back off on raising the interest rates, and we may go down to 50 basis points. After that happened, the market's reality still kicked in. So it wasn't enough. Now, a lot of people are asking, are we going to have a Santa rally? I honestly don't know. As it looks right now, I don't think we will. But anything can happen. Volatility is still high in the market, which is going to subject us to big swings in the market throughout the day. All right, volatility is still high in the market, so keeping all that in play. In any stock that you're going to talk about, David, I'm going to write them down, and if I've got some time today, I will talk about that. How about that, David? All right, VKTX. If I've got some time, I'll look at some of your stocks today. For sure when he has a CEO for Twitter, no names yet. Oh, for sure when he, we'll see, Albert. We definitely will We'll definitely see. Stanley, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Again, I'm trying to get us up to 300 people today. We're at 251. Keep pushing. Let's make this happen. All right, so this is a look of what's going down in the market. We had a level of support on our composite at 55.04. We fell, the 3 and the 8. The market's still just falling. We are not lower, though, than Friday's low, which was a price of 53.96. We're actually trading, we are trading lower than that right now. The market still has some more downside. Now, remember I talked to you about the 30,000-foot view? I'm going to show you something. This is, again, for the people who are not subscribers. Here's our market climate. And on the market climate, we track some of the most important things. We look at inflation. Inflation has peaked. The fall is not nearly as steep as the rise. So inflation has peaked. Hopefully what the Fed is doing with the raising of the interest rates is affecting the move of what's going on with inflation. T-notes. Well, this is the interest rates, the rising interest rates to combat the rising inflation. And this is the important part. Remember, earnings is the engine that drives the market higher. Here's the earnings trend indicator. We take all of the earnings from the S&P 500 and we put it on a scaling between 0 and 2 so we can tell you at any given time if the earnings for the S&P are positive or negative. So we look at the ETIs at 1.07. Once this earning trends indicator drops below the value of 1, we will officially be in a bear market. That doesn't mean that we're not in a bear run, and we have been in a bear run. But when earnings drops below that value of 1, we will be in a bona fide bear market. And the last time we were in a bona fide bear market was back in 2020 when COVID hit. All right, and what did we do at that time? We lowered interest rates, to keep the market stable. All right, and gave stimulus. What did that do? That drove inflation higher, but also drove the market higher. During this time, when inflation was starting to run, what did the Fed say? It was transitory, and then it became a problem when we hit 40-year highs. So we pulled back on inflation. We pulled back on interest rates a little bit. Inflation is falling, but so is the guidance for earnings going forward into the next year. And that's going to be a problem, all right? That's going to be a problem. So from a market timing perspective, going back to the market timing graph, let's go to our slowest, most conservative market timing call. We are currently in a confirmed down call that happened on 12/15. Another market timing call for the intermediate investor, which is the DEW. We've been in a down call since 12/15 as well. And our most aggressive trader timing signal is the primary wave. We've been in a down call again since 12/15. The market took a big hit, and all three of our major market timing calls all went down as well. So what is our guidance? let's go back to the home page real quick. The guidance as a VectorVest subscriber is we do not advocate buying any stocks at this time. Straightforward. All right. And as the market starts to move and change, we will give you the right times to be able to know when it's okay to start looking for a market bottom and when it's okay to start buying stocks. That's why you need to be on the channel, and that's why we need to get more people here so that they are well aware of when it's okay and when it's not a head fake or a sucker punch. All right, so looking at this from the standpoint of market timing, that's where we stand. Not a good time to buy stocks, but I'm still going to provide you with some stocks to keep in mind and help you to know when it's the right time to buy those stocks. All right, let's get out to some news. What news is moving the market right now? And let's start off with some stocks that were moving all pre-market today. Tesla rose 3.3% after the poll. Elon Musk instigated, suggesting that he should stand back as his role as the head of Twitter. In theory, allowing him to devote more of his time to his role as Tesla. On top of that, though, with all of the news going to him in Twitter, Tesla's at 52-week low. All right, so the person that said making money on Tesla puts, man, that's a good way to be. I agree with that. Bill says, how about oil? Oil's still a tough play. Oil is still a tough play. And in my mind, looking at the colder months, oil should have rose. I just did a story on oil. I still think that oil is about to explode. That's my personal opinion. But you got to keep your eyes on that. Do not base your decision based on what I just said. Look at the stocks. I still think that there's some good oil stocks. As a matter of fact, in that video that I just put out, I gave you some oil stocks to take a look at, Bill. All right. It's still a tough play. It really is. And as a matter of fact, talking about commodities, the video tonight is going to be on a different commodity that you guys need to pay attention to. That's going to come out at 6 p.m. today. For those of you who have not hit the bell icon to be alerted, you need to do that so that you'll get the alert when the video comes out tonight. ENPH, I'll write that down. ENPH is a solid company. I just think that with the markets pulled to the downside, stocks like ENPH are feeling that move as well. So I want you to understand the market's direction affects about 80% of the stocks in the market. Understand that for the stocks that you're trying to hold long. If you are still holding stocks long, you need to hedge them. Does everybody in this room agree with that? For all those stocks that you're holding long, you need to hedge them. Whether you're buying puts, you're selling calls, or you're trading contra ETFs. Folks, every stock that you're holding long in a downtrending market, you need to hedge them. Type a 1 in the room if you agree with that. Type a 1 in the room if you agree with that, because it's a very important thing. It's a very important thing, not only to make money, but to hold on to your money, especially when markets are moving down. So what other stocks are making the news? Meta fell after Facebook parent was warned by the European Commission that it's breaching the EU antitrust laws. So Meta fell. Moderna rose 3.4% after Jefferies upgraded it. You know that they've got this drug going on for cancer, made the news. The stock has been moving up since then. And so a big money manager moved it from, upgraded its stance on the drug to a buy from a hold. So enough of the news is pushing it higher, and big money is going behind it. Aerojet, AOJ, I don't track this, but it's under L3 Harris, down 1.7. It agreed to pay $4.7 billion for the company. So another company being bought up. When companies getting beat up, it's easy for the big companies to go and buy them because they're having a hard time staying in business. So AstraZeneca fell. UK Swedish pharma company said its drug failed to reach primary endpoints in the latest of a series of trials. So AZN took a hit over that. Mesa Air rose 7% after the carrier said over the weekend it's finalizing an agreement to operate regional flights for United Airlines. Look at that. So up 0.9% after the announcement, it will wind down flights. All right. American Airlines is up 0.6% for early next year. And Warner Music rose 1.6% after Atlantic Equities upgraded its stance on the entertainment group to overweight from neutral. So here's some stocks that are moving. We're going to pay attention to that. Part of what my video is going to be tonight is going to be on uranium. And I did a listing of stocks because it's a clean energy. I think it's one of the best clean energies out there. The other side of the fence, though, is the ability to get rid of the waste. That's the point. That's the big point when it comes down to nuclear energy. So the United States, low on the list. So check out tonight's video because that could be picking up for the United States the ability for them to create or get more uranium. So watch that. Notice what's up further up the list, though. Russia and China, way above the United States in regards to that. All right, and from our blog, go to www.vectorvest.com www.vectorvest.com. Go to the blog. Go look at hot stocks. Here's this Tesla story. Musk sells shares of Tesla, which sits at its lowest point in 2 years. Is it time to sell? How many of you still own Tesla? Type of one in the room. Wow, I had Rocketdyne stock when I worked for Rockwell years ago. Wish I kept it. Don't get caught up on the woulda, coulda, shoulda. Don't get caught up on the woulda, coulda, shoulda. How many of you still own Tesla stock? I am short Rivian. Rivian may not be a bad play to short. There was a story that came out on RIVN. It was a story that came out. I saw the news on it. I forget what the negative news was on it. I forget. All right. So Adobe story that came out on Friday beats earnings per share. EPS consensus jumped 6%. 3 reasons why we like it. So again, for those people who are not subscribers and you want to know about some stocks that are on our minds, go to www.vectorvest.com, go to the blog section, go to hot stocks, and Tesla is one of my stocks today. All right, let's get back into the software. Let's go to the viewers tab. And yeah, let's go to the viewers tab. Here's my stocks today from the news. AstraZeneca, it missed on an FDA approval. Nope, waiting for it to hit rock bottom, scoop some. That may not be a bad play. I wouldn't mind playing a regression play on Tesla. I'm waiting for Tesla to bottom, even if it's in a downtrend. I agree. Rivian's earnings per share looks terrible. Is that what it was? I know there was a story on Rivian that didn't make it look so good. I wasn't sure if it was earnings. But yeah, we'll take a look at it. I wrote it on my list for you guys. American Airlines is on my list. Tesla, look at that, down over 1% today, pushing 2% down. Warner Music upgraded, up 2%. Look at that. Mesa Airlines, because it's helping out. United Airlines up nicely today, 9%. Here's the story on Aerojet. It's really, I didn't have that stock, but I had L3, but it's down today. Let's take a look at these graphs. So these are all my stocks that made the news. Let's go 3 months. AstraZeneca was nicely moving up. Actually, it was one of my stocks that I've had as far as drug plays, nicely moving up. But the news, all it takes is one bit of news, especially not getting approval for the stock to fall, fell through a level of support, and the 3 went below the 8. Stock was in overbought territory. Definitely has some more move to the downside. American Airline, even with the story, look at the stock just falling, coming off of this high, broke through 2 levels of support. Be careful with it. It is in oversold territory, so it could be poised for a rebound. Tesla, again, Tesla's just falling, 52-week low. Again, I don't know how long people stay with Tesla. This could be a big move if he steps down as the CEO of Twitter and puts more of his time and effort into Tesla. It could be what turns Tesla around. Rivian earnings per share is terrible. Plug, DraftKings, Roku all have falling earnings per shares. Roblox is another. So what did I tell you in that 30,000-foot view looking at the market climate graph, John? I talked about earnings falling as a whole because companies are guiding lower. That's going to be bad going into 2023. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. The market long-term has more downside until not only inflation falls to the level, the Fed wants it to be at 2%. All right, that's a lot of falling. The economy is going to feel it. Companies are going to feel it. And interest rates are still going to be rising. All right, interest rates are still going to be rising. I think that whether it's 50 basis points or 75 basis points, he's still raising interest rates. And I think that people are losing sight of that. And that's why the market is falling the way that it is right now. All right. I still say stay focused. Warner Brothers upgrade in its level of sitting at a 3-month high. 3 and 8 have been solid, keeping you in the stock. Do you think that ARKG is ready for a bounce? Looks like it's hitting a strong level. I'll take a look at it. ARKG, using contras to head. Ramon, I cannot stress that enough. For those of you, I'm holding stocks long, but I've got about 2 or 3 contras right now and a big play on them to help to settle my portfolio. And again, I'm looking at triple leverage, especially if the market's falling the way it is. I'm looking at triple leverage contras. I want that aggressive move, but I'm going to be very careful on an up day to make sure that I don't get killed. I own Tesla. I'm just holding. I got back at 151. And again, Bill, if you're holding Tesla, one thing I don't want you to do at any point in time, if you're holding a stock that's going down in price and you're not hedging, you need to consider selling that stock and wait for a better opportunity, and use the VectorVest software to help you to denote when that better buying opportunity is. Moderna, good news story. It popped. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some VectorVest in it. You know what I'm saying? Stock's price is falling. Couple of things haven't happened yet. The 3 hasn't crossed below the 8, excuse me, on an end of day basis. And I've got a level of support sitting at 185.65. If you're still holding Moderna right now after a nice move up, be patient. Let's see if let the play come to you. The 3 hasn't crossed below the 8 end of day, and it is above that level of support. All right, next stock on the list is Meta. It's having a hard time getting above this level of 123.61. It did fade the gap that happened back here in October, but it's sitting at a solid level of resistance of 123.61. I'd be careful. If I'm going to stay long with Meta, I got to see, if I'm not in it, let's go see if it can break above that level of resistance. That Aerojet story, LXX, they bought it. Not enough to move the stock up, though. Actually gapped down after the news. Definitely oversold. Could be a rebound happening. I'm not sure that the news was enough to move it just quite yet. Mesa, big story, but look, a lot of people took profit on that. Look at the big wick at the top of that candle. I like the bounce off support with the news, but keep in mind, not only the big wick at the top, I'm at a level of resistance of $128. Be careful with that. That is news, all right? And it could turn into noise unless the news turns it profitable. All right, so those are the stocks that are making the news. We took a look at their graphs, a couple of sells in here. My job is just to show you the news and give you some insight on the stocks. All right, what do you think is a penny stock? ASRT, what is it? I know that stock. How come I know that stock? All right, earnings this week. What stocks are coming out with earnings? Not a lot. We're still early in the earnings season. What is it? No, this is coming to the end of the earnings season, right? Earning for the fourth quarter. But I've only got 12 stocks on my list. The bigger names that are reporting, like Cintas, General Mills, Nike, FactSet, Federal Express, Carnival, Micron, FCell. These are all companies that are reporting earnings this week. I would look at the companies that have a high relative safety. Now, even if they beat earnings, the other side of it is the guidance going forward. And I think that we're in a season, because of rising interest rates and the hawkish Fed, that companies are still going to be, for the most part, guiding lower going into next year. So earnings, like I showed you on that market climate graph, earnings are falling. Earnings are falling going into next year. That's going to play a big role whether or not, if you don't think we're in a recession, if we're going to have a recession, is it going to be a hard landing, a soft landing, all of those different terms being put out there. But I'm telling you that already, if you're already not thinking about it, earnings is going to play a big role going into next year. Fastest industries, these are the stocks that we found from the fastest industries last week. Let's go do this. Let's go back 1 week. What happened? 1 week can make a big difference. The market fell a lot over the last week, right? Let's go do a quick test. These are stocks that we found that were moving. A couple of stocks went up, but for the most part, they went down, but not nearly as much as the S&P 500. So that's a win in and of itself. We were finding stocks that were on the rise last week during this time. 3 of the 7 went up. It's tough. It's tough with a market that's moving down. SMCI was mentioned by Jim Ropel, an IBD hedge fund guy. He said earnings per share is. I'm still a big fan of chip stocks and SMCI. SMCI, if we go to the viewers, let's go do this real quick. All right, let's go to the stock viewer. Let's close this. If we go to our stock viewer, which is looking at all of our stocks in the database sorted by VST, SMCI, look at that, is the number one stock in the VectorVest system, John, sorted by VST. It's at 1.50 on a scale between 0 and 2. It is the best VST stock in the house. All right, so that's somebody who's with a different company saying that the earnings are good, da 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 da. But when I can look at 9,145 stocks, 44 stocks, and I can pull up that SMCI is the best stock in our system by VST, you know something? I can't argue with that guy. I don't know him. I don't know him. But I can tell you that from a VectorVest perspective, it's undervalued, good upside potential, safety in an uptrend, buy recommendation. See, everything I can say about SMCI is good by way of VectorVest. Out of 9,144 stocks, it is the top stock by VST in the database. Folks, if you're not a subscriber to the software, you want to be able to see our best stocks, no matter what the market's conditions are doing. You can sign up for a trial. 99 cents. Excuse me. 99 cents gets you a 30-day trial to know what our best top VST stocks are in the database at any given time. All right, let's go back to the watch list viewer. All right, so the stocks, the fastest industry stocks, didn't do nearly as well as I'd like, but they still did better. As you can see, they still did better than the S&P over the last week. All right, so keeping that in mind, let's empty this. Let's go see if we can find any new stocks to keep our eyes on. Let's go to the Unisearch tool, go to Delta Searches Industries. Let's go see what industries are on the rise this week. And what I use is one of our indicators, relative timing. And I look at what it was 10 days ago, and then for the last 10 days, has it risen? Look at that. Insurance brokers had an RT delta of 36% over the last 10 days. It's lower than that. So it's not on the rise. But let me see if wow. And this is a tough market, folks. This is a tough market. It's tough for me to find industries that are rising from the previous week. Let's go look at food, beverage, alcoholic. 5.25% 10 days ago, and over the last current 10 days, it's up 8.75. So it tells me that the industry is on the rise. Let's go view the stocks in that industry. We're going to look at the top 5 stocks in that industry, right? We're going to look at the top 5 stocks in that industry. The industry has 26 stocks in it. All right, let's go see what's in here. VWE, let's go graph these. Let's go see if there's any stocks in here that we like. Let's go put this on a 1-month graph. Let's go look at the 1-month graph. Taking a little minute. Sigh. Boston, are you here? Boston, are you here in the background? There we go. VWE, over the last month, rising. A little bit of give back to 3 and the 8 are still positive. I'm going to write that down. We're going to take that. VWE. This one I'm not going to take. The 3 is below the 8. Ooh. Naked wines. Anybody ever drink wine while they naked? Type of 1. No, I don't think I want to know that. I don't want to know that. NWINF. We're going to write that one down. Look, I like the graph. And CCU, not just quite yet. The 3 is not above the 8. I do like the bounce off support, but I like the nice open candle today, but I'd really like to see the 3. Look at the last time the 3 went above the 8. Boom. All right, I'd like to see that happen before I buy it. So I'm going to look at NWINF, 50,000 shares. It's a low dollar stock, not a lot of volume. I would keep my eyes on it. So, and what was the other one? VWE. Let's go take VWE, NW, add this to my watch list, and let's go put that into the fastest industries. All right, we're going to take a look at the next week. What else is on the rise? And I'm with you, Maria. SMCI is a longer-term play. So I'm of that mindset. What else is moving? Real estate. Look at that. 2.9, almost 3% 10 days ago. And over the last 10 days has gone up 8.65%. Let's view the stocks in that industry group. Let's look at the top 5. Let's bring that up. And the reason why I wanted to see if you were here, boss, and I wanted to see if there was a problem with the software. Let's go look at these graphs. Let's go look at these graphs. Any of these stocks that we like, put it on a 1-month graph. Nope, that's falling down. I don't like that. Nope, don't like that. Nope, don't like that. Nope, don't like that. Nope, don't like that. So even though it's an industry that's rising, I didn't like any of the top 5 stocks in there. Let's run it one more time. Man, the companies that are moving up on a week-over-week basis there's not a lot of them. But that makes sense. Folks, if you're brand new and this is your first time here, does this analysis make sense to you? Type a 1. And this is the kind of analysis that I can pull up in the VectorVest software. If you're brand new to the channel, if this information that you're seeing right now makes sense, type a 1 in the room. This is an important piece of information that in the current market's condition can discern what's really moving to see where to put your money. And right now, the guidance that we're given is on point because I'm not finding a lot of industries that are on the rise in the current market's conditions. And you know something? That's okay. I would rather to do this and not find stocks than to go blindly buying stocks because people are telling me to. All right, let me take my glasses off. I would rather to do this kind of analysis than to listen to the people on TV, look at the people on YouTube, getting the information in my email telling me to go buy this stock because blah, blah, blah. If I can't find an industry that's in the current market's condition not moving, I'm okay with that. Does everybody agree with that? Does everybody agree with that? I would rather do this kind of spend. And you know something? It's not taking me a lot of time to do this kind of analysis. I can do this pretty quickly. And if it's telling me no right now, I would rather to have that than to go buy into a stock that somebody's telling me to buy into and lose money. This is the kind of analysis that you need to have. If you don't have it, 99 cents gets you 30 days to do this kind of analysis. All right. That's my rant for the day because I think it's important. How many of you have gotten burnt listening to the talking heads on TV? How many of you have gotten burnt listening to the people on YouTube? How many of you have gotten burnt by getting the emails in the mail telling you to go buy these stocks? If the system that I'm showing you right now, and you can build this, Boston has put a copy of this out to our product support team. So that if you need help building this, they'll help you to build it. But this is where the rubber meets the road and why we're here and why we've been here for over 35 years. So I got to take my salesman hat off and keep on moving. Not a lot of stocks that I got to look for in going into next week, but that makes sense if the guidance right now in VectorVest is saying it's not the right time to buy stocks. All right, where's the money going today? All right, let's go see where the money is going today. Corey Creed, he uses an EMA for the 3/8 crossing. Listen, we do it every single day here, right? Man, what industries are moving? Only two. There's oil. Oil is on the rise still again. All right. So someone said, "What about oil?" Let's go look at the ETF for oil. Let's go look at the both of these. Let's go look Brent and oil. View the stock graph. Somebody asked me about that. Intraday today on the rise. Let's go put this on a 1-month graph. The 3 hasn't crossed above the 8. That's on BNO and the USO. Look on USO though. Nice big wick at the bottom of the candle shows some buying pressure, bouncing off a level of support of 65.07. Intraday today, the 3 is crossing above the 8. Look at the last time it happened. Again, I just think that with all of the oil that we've sold out of our reserves, we're going to have to buy it back. And I think that the administration is pushing oil down artificially to go buy the oil back at lower prices. Russia, that's another whole thing between Russia and Ukraine. The EU is going to have a problem getting oil and natural gas. I still think that the buying opportunities are there on oil. Again, I just did a video on it. I just did a video on it that I still think that oil's about to explode. So we'll see. All right, and let's go put this on a 6-month graph. Whew. It's been a tough play. A little bit. That is a 6-month low. And let's go look at one more. This USO. Let's go look at a 1-year play. Remember when we first started getting into this earlier this year? Oil was kicking and scratching. Right now, it's leveling out. The cold months are here. You know something, Joey? It's cold in Carolina, isn't it? It
Sure is.
It is some cold in Carolina, and I think that's in the Carolinas. That's just in the Carolinas, and I'm getting ready to go away for Christmas. We're going to Alabama. We're going to Dolphin Island. Me, my wife, and my mother-in-law. Mother-in-law just came in last night, so she'll be here until the end of January. I happen to love my mother-in-law. She's awesome. So we're getting ready to go we're leaving Thursday. We'll be back next Wednesday. I'll be back to work, I think, next Wednesday or Thursday, one of the two. But I'm going on a little Christmas vacation. 68 degrees in Central Florida. It's cold in California, says Lou. 33 degrees in Arizona. All right, so I'm hoping that we go further south to Bama. Maybe it's a little warmer. We'll see. All right. So that did a couple of things. Oil is moving, and I did my analysis on oil. I think it still has the potential, especially it's getting cold. I did my analysis on oil on why I think oil is about to move. Texas, look at that, 43 in Texas. Man, it's cold everywhere. It's cold. I got my little thermal on under my shirt, and I'm cold. That's all I got to say about that. Minnesota, 7 in Minnesota, warmed up today. I don't know. Where's David? Where's David when I need him? He keeps trying to tell me I need to go up to see him in Minnesota and go ice fishing. All right. Me and Joey's going to go. You want to go? We decided we're going to go. We're going to go do some ice fishing. I'm going to do that. All right. Speculative plays this week. What speculative plays do I have? Let's go see. Did I have any? Yeah, I got some. They are all...
Clear that chat.
Oh, thank you. Speculative plays. 30 degrees in Boston, perfect for Christmas weather. You keep that up there. Then Maria says 35 in Maine. It's up there. Yeah, I'm not doing none of that stuff. All right, so all my speculative plays, look at them. Good, googly muggly, all going down, down, down. That's because the market's going down. Remember, when I look at speculative plays, I'm looking for stocks that are not fundamentally sound, but have RTs above 1. All right, that means they are in an uptrend. Let's graph these real quick. All right, let's graph these. Put this on a 1-month graph. Look at that. Zeta, love the equity curve on a market that's getting beat up. I love the equity curve over the last month. The stock is getting out of the range of being overbought. Could be turning over, but the 3 and the 8 all month, end of day, have been looking good. 45 degrees in Madison, Alabama. Is it, Wizard? All right, well, 45. No. Listen. We going to some kind of bed and breakfast or some kind of Airbnb. My wife says she just wants to relax and walk on the beach. I said, you go walk on beach. I'm not walking on beach if it's that cold. I'm not doing that. Oh, we can go walk and put our feet in the water. I looked at my wife and I said, woman, are you crazy? It is too damn cold to be walking on some beach in the water. I'm not doing that. That's just not happening. All right. So I'm just putting that out there. Make sure, it does have a fireplace, Roger. I'm not walking on no beach. I can go look at it and smile and take some pictures, but I'm not walking on that beach. That ain't just happening. Just I put my foot down. Joey knows how I put my foot down. Right, Joey? I'm not going to walk on that beach and nothing like that.
Right.
That's right, Joey. All right, TCOM, AXSM, be careful with that. I know it's a speculative play. Today's market's moving down. It's being affected. The volume has been pretty steady, not a ton of volume. But again, it's a drug company. It is a speculative play. Again, all of these stocks that I pick out from a speculative perspective, again, fundamentally not sound, but they are in uptrends. The 3 and the 8 all month have been solid. Even on the big down day here, the 3 and the 8's holding out. So this is why I'm looking at it now. PCVX, I don't like this play anymore. The 3 is definitely below the 8. I wouldn't take this play at all. IMVT, another drug company, bottom left, top right, moving up. I do like it. Down day today, but not a big down day as you would expect with a lot of other stocks. Keep that on your radar. ACLX, big down day. Be careful with it. So those are my speculative plays coming into here for you this week. No today's big movers. My big movers today would either be short or contras. They would either be short or contras. So you know something? We can do that. Let's go to the ETF viewer. I'm going to bring up some contras on the fly for you. Excuse me. Let's go to the, do I want that ETF viewer? Sort this by average volume. Contras should automatically come up to the list. All right, Glenn, what do you prefer in a down market? Options, contras, selling short. What is your preference? I am a contras or options player. Contras or options player. There's the short. There's a short. There's a short. I don't want to do it that way. I changed my mind. Let's go to the watch list viewer. I'd rather do it this way. Let's go to the watch list viewer. Go to ETFs. Let's go to contra ETFs. So in the current market conditions, I'm going to give you some contras to keep your eyes on. All right, how about that? Let's go over to average volume. Let's go to average volume. Let's go find, I'm going to give you 5 or so to keep your eyes on. All right, if you're playing the contra space, right click, auto fit. 1, 2, 3, 4. The top 5 by VST. All right, here's the top 5. No, these are top 5 by average volume. Let's go view the stock graphs. If you're going to hedge, these are the ones that I want. Look at that. SQQQ, nice 1 month high. All right, what I don't like is the falling volume, but nice 1 month high on SQQQ. Wow, VIXI, I'm not feeling that. Be careful with that, even though it's a high volume. There it is. That's a nice one too. SH on the S&P 500, new 1 month high. On SPXU, also on the S&P 500, new 1 month high. And SPX, man, all large cap and S&P 500. If you're going to play the market today, I like these with the exception of UVIXI. I like these as play for you today. Let's go back to my watch list viewer. Go back to midday market update. Speculative plays. Big movers. That's my big movers. Biotechs. These are my companies that have some phase 3 stuff coming out. These have been, wow, look at that. See, these are why I bring these up to the forefront, folks. This is why I do this, because how many times have you seen a farm go up like this? How many times have you seen that happen? All right, let's go see what my weekly plays for biotechs were last week. Let's see if I gave you any that helped you out. Let's go back 1 week. Man, this is why I specifically point to these stocks. Let's go see how these did. Probably not nearly as I'd like. Yeah, not nearly as much. Dagnabbit. Only one stock went up. Again, all of these stocks do have some semblance of news that could move them. Keep your eyes on them. But, man, look at this. Weekly biotech stocks. New. Didn't I just have one that was up 233? Oh, streaming. Didn't I just have one that was up 200? There it is. MDGL. Let's go see what the news was on this. 233%. Stock is crushing it today. The company reported stellar late-stage clinical trials for experimental NASH, non-alcoholic drug. All right, that's what's making the stock move. Is it still worth it to get into it? Let's go peep this out. Would you still buy it? Look at from the 9 o'clock, 9:30 hour. Where's 9:30 hour? Stock jumped up, leveled out. Do I like this longer term? No. That's just news? No. But it's not continue to rise throughout the day. Does that seem like nope. Does it seem like the opportunity is over? Yep. I wouldn't take this. A lot of wick at the top of the candle. This was news driven, coming out the level of being oversold. News driven, it ran. That's a lot of profit taking. Do I like this long term? The answer to that is no. That's the answer to it. If this was more of a full candle with no wick at the top, the answer then, Corey, would be yes. But I'm not feeling that right now. It's news driven. If you weren't already in the stock, you missed that opportunity. Does that make sense? Volume has dropped throughout the day also. Yeah, I'm not feeling this. I am so not feeling this play. I love that it moved up the way that it did and it made my list. But no, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. All right, last thing. What do you think this is? You think that this is a growth market or a value market? Type it in the room. Growth or value? Do you think that this is a growth market or a value market? Type it in the room. Type it in the room. How about a short-term put? No, I wouldn't even buy the put on this. I don't think it. Well, you know, it might fade the gap to the downside, and it is optionable. I'd have to look at it. Do you think that this is a value market or a growth market? Type it in the room. Think it's a value market? Let's go look at my value plays from last week. All right, how many stocks did I have? I told you that I would do this. I would do value and growth plays for you every week. Let's go look and see which did the best. Let's go back 1 week. Here's my value plays from last week. And remember, for value, I'm looking for fundamentally sound stocks that are in uptrends, da-da-da. But again, with falling markets, even the best stocks in the database can get hurt. Let's quick test these. What did they do? Down about 3%. They all lost money, but they still outperform the market. And they're all optionable. And probably they all pay a dividend. Probably they all pay a dividend. They do. They all pay a dividend. And they all have really good, safe dividends as well. So if you own these as value plays, I love that they pay dividends, and the dividend safeties are really good. Really good. These are stocks that I don't mind owning long term, especially if they pay the dividends. Can you explain what do you mean by is it a growth play or value market? Salim, I've put out a video talking about growth stocks and value stocks. Instead of spending the time to do that, Joey's going to have to find that video. So tell you what I would rather say. Salim, go Google growth stocks versus value stocks. That's the best way I'm going to explain it in a short amount of time. I don't know. My value plays are hurting. So I hear you, Maria. Let's go look at the growth plays for last week. I had none. I had none in the current market conditions. Let's go back to value plays for this week. I got none. All right, let's go look at growth plays. I've got shipping and 2 other companies. These are let me stream these. I've got 4 growth plays. I've got no value plays. But I think that rocks and rolls with the current market's conditions. And it makes sense. So we'll take a look and see if these growth plays made money, but I got no value plays. Nash, fatty liver. If drug any good, the market is huge in more ways than one. Okay, there you go. All right, I'm pretty much done. Oh, nope. Weekly customer picks. Let me go. I wrote down some stocks. VKTX, ENPH, Rivian, RIVN. Yeah! None of this is typing. It's all Joey's fault. VKTX, EMPH, RIVN. I still love you, Joey. ARKG, ASRT, SMCI, nobody gave me any new stocks. Fine. Here we go. So we're going to take a look at these stocks. We're going to look at these on a 3-month graph. I still like SMCI, undervalued, good upside potential, good safety, good CI. It's one of the best. It's the best stock by VST in the software. ASRT, undervalued, good upside potential in an uptrend, buy recommendation. VKTX, way overvalued, which is not unusual with a drug company. It's not unusual for a drug company to be overvalued and crazy everywhere. But if you buy the stock today, then I must say it's not unusual to go down in price on every night. All right, so anyway, Maria, that was for you. Maria, that was, and you know something? I'm gonna give me an applause for that because that was done on the fly and it made sense. That was done on the fly and it made sense, and that's it. All right, so VKTX is overvalued. Fundamentally not sound, no good RV, no good RS. I'd be careful. I know it's a buy recommendation, but I'd be careful with it. Enphase, way overvalued, does have good upside potential, fundamentally is sound and in an uptrend right now. Buy recommendation. ARCG is an ETF. It's not in an uptrend. It's a sell. And Rivian, bad earnings. Everybody's letting me know. Overvalued, not fundamentally sound. I still like the RV space. The EV space. But the rubber that meets the road on these stocks is deliveries. Glenn makes Frank Sinatra look like an amateur. Thank you, Lou. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so let's look at the graphs of these real quick. Let's go look at the graph of these real quick. These are all your picks. Let's put them on a 3-month graph. SMCI, even though it's one of the best stocks in the database, market moving down. Remember, 80% of the stocks move with the market's direction. It is feeling the move. At some point in time, though, if you're not hedging this, you need to make sure that you get out of it. A couple of reasons to get out. The stock fell below a solid level of support and the 3 and the 8 cross. All right, so, but on the other side, it is at the level of being oversold. You might wait for a rebound, but how low is low before you get out of it, right? ASRT, I like the move falling. It's got a couple of ways to get out, looking at the 3 and the 8 and this solid level of support. It is an overbought territory, so that makes sense on the pullback, but I do like historically the move on the stock. But I make sure if I'm not hedging, I need to think about when to get out of it. Next stock, VKTX. This sounds like it's news-driven. Now, this is a different stock than the MDGL. Notice very little wick at the top. Does this have some continuation? The answer to that, in my estimation, this does have some continuation. As a matter of fact, I'm writing that down. VKTX, I might want a little piece of that right there. It is a speculative play, but the news is enough to keep people buying into the stock. I like this. I like this stock more than the stock that went up 233%. I'm keeping my eye on that. I like that it may have some follow through before it does take a big fall to the downside. I don't know what the news is on this, but evidently 71% stock rallies after Madrigal shares positive. All right, so it's part of with that MDGL stock. All right, evidently, it looks like it. Madrigal Pharma stock triples after knocking NASH study out of the park. So if I had a choice between the two, I like this one better because very little wick at the top. As soon as I'm done here, thinking about go buy that stock. Y'all don't be going buy that stock and mess with my play. Y'all mess with my play. I will turn this car around. All right, but I'm liking that. I like the person that gave me that. I do like that. Very little wick at the top of the graph. EMPH, consolidating, a little bit of a channel right now. The stock is looking like it's getting into oversold territory, but I do like the sideways move as a possibility. I need to see the 3-8 end of day bounce back up before I think about buying into it if I'm not already in it. ARCG, I'm not feeling that. I'm so not feeling that. Coming off that high, pulling down, broke out of the channel, getting in the area of being oversold. It's setting a new 3-month low. I'm not feeling that. And the 3 and the 8 are pulling further apart. I'm not feeling that. Same thing with Rivian right now. Again, I'm a big fan of the EV space, but right now Rivian doesn't feel like the place to be. All right, Joey, put me on my last screen. All right, I'm done. Hey, how many likes we get? 75? Well, you know me. I like to try to get to 100 likes. Hey, if it was worth it for you to be here today, hit the like button. If it was worth it, if you learned some stuff, you saw some stocks, you liked the analysis, hit the like button. All right, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel as well. Hit the bell icon and share this. Even after this is done, share this. Let's get some views on it. We didn't quite get to the 300 people I wanted in the room. I'm working on that, but I need your help. I do need your help. Well, we got another live stream on Wednesday. Give you another opportunity. But I think that the data, the information that we try to give here on the channel is useful to everybody out there. All right, it is. It's useful to every. That's why I want the people to come. You know, build it and they will come. The software is here. We just want people to see and get the benefit that you guys are getting. Folks, at VectorVest, we do the work, you reap the reward. I'm up to 97 likes. I appreciate that. I'm sure that before we leave, we'll probably get right there. Onion News says, yeah, I just saw a few post influencers jumping in AMC for the ape community. Maybe it starts to run. You know me, I'm not a big fan of, if you look at in the VectorVest software, AMC and GME. Joey, put me right back. Oh, you did that already. Let's go do this. Let's go see GME, AMC. Let's peep this out real quick. I put this on a 1 month graph. There's GME. I'm not feeling that. And no matter what influencer is out there telling you, blah, 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 first thing I'm looking for on an end of day basis is for the 3 to cross above the 8. All right, I'm looking at this. This is a new 1 month low, a new 3 month low, a new 6 month low. Not a new 1 year low, but just moving lower and lower. I need to at least see the 3 cross above the 8. At least it gives me some short-term buying opportunities. All right, let's go do the same thing with AMC. Put this on a 1 month. That's a new 1 month low. So, and again, you're looking at the influencers. You're looking at the onion. You're looking at the influencers. I'm not trying to influence you do nothing. I'm showing you the data. I'm showing you the information. That's a new 1 month low, a new 3 month low, a new 6 month low, a new 1 year low. Could it be ready to bounce? Could be. It's definitely oversold. It's definitely oversold. But am I feeling that to tell you to go jump on it? Nope, not yet. You know something? I'd rather you leave some money on the table and wait for the 3 to cross above the 8 than to try to listen to the influencers as the stock is going down. Do you agree with that? Type of 1 in the room. Do you agree with that, what I just said in regards to these meme stocks? Type of 1 in the room. I would rather have you leave some money on the table and wait for confirmation before you buy into them. There's money that could be made on these stocks. There's no ifs and I'm not going to tell you that there's no money that can't be made on these stocks. But let the trade come to you. Don't let nobody push you into doing something just because they say it. Here, I'm never going to influence you on buying anything. All I'm here to do is give you the information. You will make the decision. You will make the decision. I'm not pushing you on neither one of these stocks. All right, Joey, now put me on my last screen. All right, with all of that, folks, Merry Christmas to everybody out there because I won't see you prior to Christmas. All right, so Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Thank you for... Joey, where's my last screen? Why do you do that? Why do you always do that? He's not paying me any attention. Where is it? Is this it? Yep. I want to say thank you to everybody out there who supports VV Nation. I look for a lot more growth going into next year, but it's only you that can make it happen. All right? It's only you that can make it happen. And I'm going to ask you in every live stream to help to push us higher and higher and higher, especially if you like the content. So with all of that being said, folks, signing off for the last time before Christmas. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Remember, keep your feet out of the lava. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks, see ya.